Well, good morning and welcome to our webinar this morning, Effective Cleaning and Maintenance of the Urimat waterless urinal system. Before we start, we've just got a few kind of housekeeping questions. So this session is being recorded. We will send you all a link after the session so that you can watch it at your leisure and of course share it with colleagues if you think that they would also be interested. We will also in that email send you a copy of the slides so that you can share those with colleagues as well. If you would like us to rerun a session as a kind of a private session for a group of colleagues, that's the sort of thing that we can do. Please get in touch with us just to ask, and we'd be happy to arrange something like that. And you will note that all of our lines are muted today, so we can't hear you and you can't ask questions verbally, but there is a question and answer section in the GoToWebinar control panel. So if you have questions through the session, please direct your questions that way and we'll hope to answer as many as we can at the end. We think today will take 20-25 minutes. So a few introductions. I am Rachel Clinton. I'm Business Development Manager here at EcoProd, and I'm joined today by Marcus Rose, who is our Managing Director. It's Marcus who will be doing the bulk of the presentation today. And in terms of an agenda, a few quick introductions, as I've just done of ourselves, but also to EcoProd more generally. And then we're going to talk about the importance of using the correct cleaning method for the Urimat waterless urinal system. An overview of our recommended cleaning method, the recommended cleaning materials that you would need, some training of the cleaning staff in your organisation, what sort of support and advice is available via EcoProd, and then a little bit about an introduction to a new product we've got coming, which is a self-cleaning urinal. And then a little bit of time, as I say, at the end for questions according to the time available. So at this point, I think that's a time for me to hand over to Marcus, who'll pick up the rest of the presentation. We'll just organise our headset switch over.
Thank you, Rachel, and good morning, everyone on the webinar. Just to begin with, a lot of you obviously know some of the background towards EcoProd. It was obviously formed by myself and my brother Edward, and we have both trained extensively for many years in the mechanical electrical engineering side of sector of the construction industry. And back in 2005-06, we identified a need for the washroom environment to be enhanced in terms of environmental benefits for sustainability, saving water, energy, materials. And it's on the basis of that we actually embarked on bringing into the UK water and energy saving products that were previously not here in the UK, and items that were bringing credentials to the commercial washroom to actually make the user experience greater, better, and to actually reduce vital resources that typically were being wasted. And one in particular environment where we all know that is very prevalent, and that is in water flushing urinal systems. Along with that, since the introduction of Urimat, we've added a lot more water and energy saving products. A number of the brands you can be seen on the slide in front of you. We have pretty much exclusivity here in the UK on most of those manufacturers, and every item that we market here in the UK would have a water and energy saving benefit or a reductive maintenance benefit through certain USPs. You can see from the slide there, we've supplied over many years a very varied client base. One of the largest and newest installations for our Urimat waterless urinal system is the new White Hart Lane Stadium at Tottenham Hotspur, which is the first stadium here in the UK to have urinal bowls as opposed to urinal troughs, which the sporting industry has traditionally believed to be the most effective means of getting throughput through a washroom. But we proved in the final year of the old stadium at White Hart Lane that that was not the case. In fact, everyone is expecting a much better user experience in the washroom today, and we have proved that urinal bowls actually prove more effective in terms of footfall use than urinal troughs. So that's a very interesting study that has come about through that exercise with that particular client. So we're just going to touch on why correct maintenance is so important. One of the first and often questions we get asked is what causes waterless urinals to smell? If your waterless urinals are cleaned and maintained correctly, then we can guarantee that they won't smell. One customer survey respondent recently wrote, anyone who has had issues with odour cannot be maintaining their urinals correctly. Generally, if waterless urinals smell, it is because someone has been putting water down them. Scrubbing them can also damage the non-porous surface, causing cracks in which odour-causing bacteria can and will flourish. What happens if you do put water down a waterless urinal? Okay, so what works for traditional urinals is actively damaging for waterless systems. When water and urine meet, the calcium in the water reacts with the uric acid in the urine and forms limescale deposits. Without a constant flush, these won't get washed away. Interestingly enough, we've actually been recently asked why the water content in urine isn't effective in that scenario, and the answer to that is because there is no calcium, because once that water has been through the human body, as everyone would know, urine is sterile. You don't need any water when cleaning because the Urimat system is a microbiological process using spore-based bacteria. Correct cleaning leads to lower maintenance costs. Bad odours are eliminated, no more waste pipe blockages, and an end to overflowing urinals. And I'd just like to go through some simple statements from Louise Little. She's the campus service supervisor at Leeds Beckett University. She said, we used to get a lot of blockages in traditional urinals on campus and they can cause all kinds of problems, but we haven't had any of that with the waterless urinals. Traditional urinals run on battery sensors that regulate the flush. From time to time, the battery runs out, and if the guys don't spot that on their check, then they don't flush at all for a few days, which causes huge problems with odour. But it's not an issue at all with the waterless urinals. Similarly, we used to get overflows and floods caused by blockages in traditional flushing urinals. These can be hugely damaging. If they happen over a weekend, then you can come in on a Monday and find you've got a ceiling down or over the floor below. Again, the waterless urinals remove this problem completely. So just an overview of the correct cleaning method. Waterless urinals are much easier to clean than flushing urinals. So you remove the sieve and clean it in a bucket of diluted MB active cleaner. Spray the urinal with diluted MB active cleaner inside and out. Wipe the urinal bowl with a cloth to remove any debris. Replace the sieve and lastly spray the inside of the bowl with diluted MB active cleaner and leave this on the surface to work. There's no need for harsh scrubbing or harmful chemicals. Quick and simple compared to cleaning traditional urinals, and no flushing with water is required. Using the correct cleaning materials. Why we strongly recommend MB Active Cleaner. MB Active Cleaner has a microbacterial spore in it, which are activated as soon as they come into contact with anything organic. I'd like to add there that the MB Active Cleaner is predominantly spore-based. It's not an enzyme-based cleaner. As soon as the spores are activated, they eat all the organic materials that they can find before falling dormant again. They then lie dormant until the next person comes along and uses the urinal. This eliminates the source of odour rather than simply masking it, which is typical of chemical cleaners. Staff training and feedback. Staff training is critical. Methods that staff are used to using on traditional urinals will actively damage your waterless urinals. It isn't just that you cannot clean the urinals using water, staff also need to understand that they cannot swill a bucket of water down a waterless urinal. Emphasise that cleaning waterless urinals is much quicker and easier than cleaning traditional urinals. We have pictorial guides and videos covering all the cleaning methods which are downloadable from our website. Some customer feedback there on the screen in front of you from a variety of types of clients and locations. Cleaning them is so much easier than cleaning traditional urinals and more efficient too. I can't believe how long the cleaning fluid lasts for. So that was another repeat from Louise at Leeds Beckett. Domestic staff have remarked that the toilets smell fresher and take less time to clean. That's from a manager at Wirral NHS Trust. They're really easy to clean and maintain, and previous issues with odour have been greatly reduced. It's one of the maintenance engineers at Coca-Cola. And previous bad odours, waste pipe blockages and overflowing urinals have been eliminated. Cleaning of Urimat waterless urinals has been received positively by the cleaning staff. Overall hygiene levels within the toilet facilities have been improved, also due to significantly lower splashback accumulation beneath the urinals from airport location. Changing the MB active trap. When to change the trap. The life cycle indicator is the blue MB block clearly visible at the top of the trap. As this dissolves, commensurate with the use of the urinal, the red disc is then eventually exposed. When the red disc is exposed, the trap is due for replacement. How to change the trap. There are step-by-step video guides on our website, as previously mentioned. The process is very straightforward. We provide everything you require within each replacement trap box. There is no harmful content. It is essential that the flushing process step within the trap change is followed, as this removes any deposits and guards against any subsequent build-up after the trap change. This is the only time that water should ever be used. Just going to touch on a new product which we mentioned in the agenda, self-cleaning urinals. This is a product that's been on trial here in the UK with us, with some particularly friendly clients for over a year now, and it's now been launched, and it's called the Urimat CS. It's fully automated, individually programmable cleaning intervals. Replaceable MB Active cleaning solution is screwed into the urinal drain opening underneath. There are two LED indicators. Green LED indicator shows that the product is ready to use. That will flash red, advising the washroom operator that the MB Active cleaner needs changing or the MB Active trap needs changing. Ideal for factories and other environments where urinals are in constant use but cleaning staff are not always available. So operations that run 24/7, 365 on shift environments, that would be a particularly good product to introduce to guard against any downfall in cleaning and maintenance. Advice and support you can receive from EcoProd. How we can help you. Video guides on our website, and when the slides are made available, those two links will take you to our website so you can download those resources, cleaning method and changing the trap, frequently asked questions, downloadable PDFs and pictorial guides. Buy your consumables online, same-day dispatch for orders before 12:30 p.m. And standing orders for regular consumable requirements can be easily set up, and a lot of our clients use that process for ordering all their items required for cleaning the Urimat waterless urinal technology. Telephone support and advice if you have any questions. Any questions?
Hello, Marcus. Hello, Marcus. There are a couple. Firstly, how often would you say you need to change the trap?
Well, that's a good question. It comes down to the footfall of the washroom. And that is why we've got the life cycle indicator on top of the trap. So the blue MB block is exactly the same product as the MB Active Cleaner. It's just in a solid cube form. And the manufacturer Urimat did a lot of research with the laboratory who produced all those products under license in Germany. And they specifically make the density of that block such that it will dissolve at the rate at which the urinal is being used, so according to the footfall. So as soon as the block has completely disappeared and the red disc is visible, that is when the trap needs to be replaced.
And in the highest footfall locations, what's the most often that you see?
I think the most frequent client we've got is a shopping mall location, which is actually open 24 hours, 7 days a week. And in effect, those washrooms are actually a public convenience. And I think they replace those traps somewhere between 2 and 3 monthly intervals.
Okay, thank you. And the cleaning with the MB Active Cleaner, how often should that cleaning process happen?
Well, it needs to happen on a daily basis for every location. For washrooms with higher footfall or different footfall patterns, the cleaning manager or the estates manager or the property manager would need to make a judgment on that. I think if you were to take some of our high footfall locations that are operating sort of nearly 24 hours a day, they would be typically attending those washrooms 3 to 4 times over that period. And although the urinal doesn't need to be completely cleaned every time, it certainly needs one good clean during the day. But at those repeat visits, just the inside of the bowl needs spraying with the MB Active Cleaner.
Okay, thank you. Are there any more questions to come through? We'll give it a second or two to see if any pop up. Okay, I don't have anything else. So in that case, I think we say thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you found it useful, and look forward to communicating with you when you get a copy of your recording and the slides and so on. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.